Dustin J Hawkes writes, I just read an article about Bryan Cranston wanting to play a supervillain role in a Marvel film. With the lackluster villains that the MCU has had to this point, Loki, Red Skull, and Ultron excluded, do you think this is a good move for Cranston? It seems Marvel puts far less significance on villains unless they will be playing a larger role throughout the cinematic timeline, Loki, Thanos.
Yeah, that has always been, like, everybody knows I'm a big, massive fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but one of their weaknesses has traditionally been that they don't have real super, like, they don't have their Darth Vader, they don't have their Hans Gruber, they don't have their real pinnacle villains, other than, say, Loki, who has a long-running theme throughout the cinematic films, and I like the Red Skull, too. So would that make, and to be more specific, Bryan Cranston said in New York that he'd like to play, you know, a villain in a big superhero film. And then in another panel, I believe it was the second panel that he came out and said, you know what, let me tell you, I want to play Mr. Sinister. Which, you know, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Sinister is a fantastic villain in the X-Men universe. So that kind of removes him from the running for doing something in Marvel. But remember, this is just Bryan Cranston talking off the top of his head. This is not him saying he's going to play it. And, you know, every big Hollywood star right now wants to be in a Marvel or big DC film. So, of course, they want to play those roles. This isn't going to create anything happening. But Bryan Cranston playing a Mr. Sinister? Yeah, sign me up. If that was going to happen, I would be doing a little dance. I think he would be perfect. Is he a little old for it? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's Mr. Sinister. If you know anything about the character, it don't matter. Cranston playing that, I would be super stoked for it. Mark, what about you?
Yeah, so would I. And I would argue that it wasn't necessarily off the top of his head. It sounds like something that maybe he was thinking about for a little bit, because he played to the crowd afterwards, which a lot of stars do at something like Comic-Con, when they're like, you want to see me play Mr. Sinister? Right. And the crowd goes crazy. So it sounds like something that might be a little calculated. I'm not telling you to take this to the bank. He's definitely playing Mr. Sinister, but it clearly is something that he has been rolling around in his head. Maybe they've had some exploratory talks. I don't know how far down the line it is, but I would love to see Bryan Cranston in the MCU, because as great of a villain as Loki is,
remember, as Sinister though, it wouldn't be MCU.
That's right, it'd be Fox. That's right. But when you're talking about any of these movies that are Marvel-based productions, Loki's a great character. I don't even look at him that much as a villain anymore, because he's there and we love him to death, but he's not like that menacing villain that you're really waiting for in a movie like that. So maybe Mr. Sinister over at Fox could be it.
Yeah, at least he didn't say, what about me playing Dr. Sinister? Like, actors get it all wrong. They've never read a comic book in their life, and it's like, oh, you know, don't just pander. But yeah, I truly believe he would be great as any supervillain in any of the Marvel movies. Yeah, Marvel proper, the cinematic universe, is missing some of their big heavy hitters. Doctor Doom and Magneto are over at Fox. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, but I wouldn't say that they're skimping. I mean, Red Skull, Loki, you got Thanos. I mean, they've got a lot of big heavy hitters coming up. They might have misfired a few times and just didn't concentrate and make the villains the main focal point for some of, like, Thor Dark World. Some of them weren't as strong or memorable as they should have or could have been.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're like, hey, meet my doppelganger. Fight the one that's me that looks just like me. So I think that's, you know, we've seen that happen. And I think with what, you know, Feige just announced Ant-Man and the Wasp and all these, like, 3 mystery movies, we don't know what they're going to be. There's a lot that, you know, Cranston can easily fit in there, or if he is going to be Mr. Sinister, maybe they're going to fit him into Gambit. We don't know. So I think it's a great call.